This is Gemma 426B, and as you can see, it's running at around 24 tokens per second. It's pretty good, right? It's running on my laptop. Or is it? What if I said the only part that was running on my laptop was attention? What if I said the expert weights were running on an entirely different machine and communication between attention and the expert weights were happening across the wire using HTTP? And what if I said that it didn't even need to be running really close to me? What if I ran the machine maybe 120 miles away from my current location? Would that be possible? So before we get started, I'm going to run a little bit of a control just to show you roughly the kind of performance we should be looking at. So I'm going to run the Gemma 3 model, 4 billion parameters with GPU, just so we can establish if everything's running locally on my machine, how fast can we actually be? So in this case, I'm going to run the capital of France's, and then it should come back with Paris. So you can see benchmark-wise, my machine is running at around 83 tokens per second. So this doesn't run as fast as something like llama.cpp, and it doesn't run as fast as Llama. But as you can see, 83 tokens per second on this machine is pretty good. So it's a little bit slower in these cases, but it gives you an idea of how we're running. So if I run the same benchmark now, but this time I'm going to use the Gemma 426 billion parameter model, which is the mixture of experts model, and this will give you an idea of how it will run locally without the mixture of experts running remotely. This is just going to be running on metal on this machine only. So again, I'm going to run it through there, and what you're going to see is, in this case, is going to run a little bit slower than the remote demo that I showed you. So you can see there it's running at around 22 tokens per second. And again, it's coming back with the same answer as you saw earlier. So before I explain the decoupling, I want to explain a little bit of what's going on during inference. So a transformer, which is the model architecture that pretty much LLM runs under, has basically this working state, which is called the residual stream. Every layer reads it, modifies it, and passes it forward to the next. So what happens is we have attention, which reads the residual stream and then pulls in the information from the previous tokens. So then the FFN, the feed-forward network, reads the updated stream and then applies the model's stored features, the knowledge part, and that's the key thing about the FFN. That's where the knowledge lives, and that's the biggest part of the model. And the FFN output is then added back onto the stream. And then the layer reads the next result. And then you can see that 30 times per token. So it's really a latency problem. It's a very sequential operation. So what have I done in the decoupling? Well, in this case, on my laptop, I keep the attention loop. That is still run locally, but that's small. Attention is tiny in comparison to the model weights. But also attention, as you're going to discover, is the only thing that needs GPU. So now I can run attention locally with the GPU, and then I can decouple the larger parts, the FFN network, the model, the expert weights, and I can turn them into a network service. Because if we can run attention locally on the machine, and we can decouple attention from the feed-forward network, the FFN, the largest part of the weights, then we're going to be able to have distribution. We will be able to take those large models like Kimi K26, DeepSeek V4, and we're going to be able to spread them across multiple machines. So to bring this to life a little bit, if we look at my machine for a second, I'm just going to run the Vindex file. So Vindex is a form that allows me to query models and separate it out a little bit easier. I showed this on my model as a database, and basically it's a highly queryable file format. So if you look at the V-indexes that are on my machine, and again, you can pull this off of Hugging Face if you want there, you can see there's the Gemma 426B model, and you can see that it's about 16 gig in size. But what I've also done in this case, I've actually sliced the model so that I only pull what I need from a client perspective. So I've chopped off 14 gig of disk space and memory that I need to load in to be able to run this client side. And that's really important because if I want to run things client side, I want to keep it small. So now to recreate the demo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a web server on my local machine, and it's going to host the Gemma 426B model. I'm going to put it on port 8081, and I'm going to ask it to shard it up and host expert 0 to 63 on this server across all the layers. Now, one of the things I can do is I can actually shard it by layer as well, and so I could say the top layers run on server A and the bottom half of the layers run on server B. I could have a server for every single layer, and then I could split them down as experts as well. So I could run something like 15,000 expert shards if I want, but that's probably a bit much. So I'm just going to shard this up here. And again, it's only going to load in what it needs memory-wise for that machine. So I've now started that machine up. You can see it's running on localhost 8081. And then what I can now do is load expert 64 to 127 in port 8082. As I said, this doesn't just work for a mixture of expert models. I can do this for dense models as well, but MOE models are a little bit easier to kind of show there. So now I've split up my experts across 2 different machines. So they are now running. And now I'm just going to run this for a second. I'm going to pass in the same query I did before, the capital of France is. I'm going to pass in the shards that I want to run. So in this case, I want to run it in localhost 8081 or 8082, but I can run it to any other machine. In fact, I'm going to show you it working with machines hosted on FlyIO in a minute. So you can see here, it's got a connection. Attention is GPU, the router's running locally, and then the experts are remote, so sharded across 2 endpoints. But again, I can scale that as much as I want. And you can see there's the answer. Paris, of course, wait, I should be concise, the capital of France. So you're seeing full inference coming across. Let me just be clear. Attention is running here on this process. But the server weights are running on these 2 separate HTTP servers on these 2 tabs here. They are distributed, and again, I'm going to show you it running on something like FlyIO. So attention locally on Metal, but here the experts running on CPU. And as you can see there, it's getting roughly the same speed, 24 tokens per second. And and this is the incredible part. You see it's called 15,000 experts, 30 layers multiplied by the top 8 and multiplied by 63 tokens. Again, I could run that one more time, and you're going to see roughly the same value. It's going to be a little bit warmer now, so I would imagine it's going to be closer to 25 tokens per second, but you get the idea. So there you go, 25 tokens per second. Now, if you wanted to really see that it's broken, I'm going to kill server B here, and then we're going to run the same command. And then what we should see is, there you go, failed to connect to MOE shards, unreachable. So you can see it really is connecting there. Now I've restarted the server, and then I'll just fire it back across, and then we will get a similar result. And there you go, the answer is back there. Now I want to pause for a little bit second before I call it on FlyIO. I want you to get the idea that at the moment I'm specifying the shards, but there's nothing stopping me having a self-organizing grid where basically as servers join, or experts join, or layers or shards join, then it could redistribute as as servers join the grid or not. And again, maybe we'll do a deeper video on it at that point. But anyway, we're back up and running. But again, just to sort of point out, bytes sent, you see around 41 meg is sent, and about 41 meg is received, hitting across those layers. So this is literally what I'm saying is the residual streams going across the wire there, and then the experts are basically responding to that as we go across. So latency is the killer on this, as you're going to see in a second. Okay, so this time I'm going to run the exact same model, but this time I'm going to run it remotely. So you see here I'm going to call LARQL expert server on fly.dev, and then the second shard one is going to be LARQL expert B on flydev as well. So I've got 2 different machines. They're all part of the grid there, and then you can see it's connecting to 2 mixture of expert shards. And again, I could have as many shards as I want there. Again, you can see attention is running as GPU, that's running locally, router's running locally, but you can see I'm talking to 2 experts which are remote. Now, it's came back, Paris, noted the user's prompt, the capital of Paris is which, so again, we're seeing the same thing. Notice the difference this time though. So this is probably the key thing. I'm only running at around 1.8 tokens per second. That is the downside of this at the moment, because remember what I said about these sequential writes, basically back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. I'm now running that across the internet you know, writing back and forward to the residual stream. And because I'm running attention locally, remember what I said at the beginning, we're looping forward. So, you know, attention will read, then it's going to go into the residual stream. FFN is going to write its answer back. It comes back. That loop is going over 30 different layers, and the latency, therefore, is what is killing us. But that's actually not the point here. The point is I am running it across the internet. It's not fast at the moment at 2 tokens per second, but you can see that attention and the FFN are truly decoupled. And again, if you're running it on LAN as opposed to across the internet, as you saw on my machine, I'm basically getting roughly the same speed as if I was running it locally. So I think that's pretty cool. What does that mean though? Well, it means that the FFN is decoupled. And in my previous video, the model is a database, I showed you that basically the model weights the FFN, the knowledge part, basically is a graph database. And that's what I'm running that underneath there. I'm running Vindex format, is running as my kind of graph database underneath the hood. It's doing KNN searches. So, you know, I think performance wise, I think that's good. We've decoupled these two things. So what does that actually mean? It means if we actually break the sequential nature between attention and the FFN via the residual stream, and we can turn that into something more parallel and more efficient, then we're going to be in a good world, right? Because we're going to be able to run with super fast tokens per second, and we're going to be able to run those really large models, basically without requiring a load of GPU. Remember what I said there, the only thing that's running in GPU is that sort of 2 gig of data that's running attention on my machine locally. Those large experts are all running on consumer grade hardware on Fly or on any other machine, and they run super fast on CPU. In fact, they're running as fast as you would run it on GPU. So the FFN part is really solved now. So if we can sort of break the sequential nature of the residual stream and attention, and we can make that super parallel, then that means we're going to be able to take those really large models like Chemi K26, etc., DeepSeek V4, and we're going to be able to run them on laptops. But actually, technically, we could do this already, because remember what I said, latency is the problem here. So technically, if I just ran a whole bunch of Mac Minis or something like that, or Raspberry Pis, whatever, if I just run things that were CPU bound and I ran them locally, therefore I had very little latency, then I would be able to run those machines on consumer grade hardware probably even today. I think there's probably a little bit of work that we need to do for attention, but I think it's possible. So as you can see there, I hope you get it, that even in this demo, attention, FFN, decoupled, pretty cool, right?